Hi, fellow travelers. Just another one to ponder or to think about. I usually see people praying and then wondering and feeling sad about people with masks in their lives, people who are not genuinely happy for them. Before I knew better, I used to feel like that. And I actually used to think that we think the same way, but we don't. We all have souls, but not everyone has awakened their soul. There are some people whose souls are seriously sleeping, and there are those who are not willing to wake up their souls. Why am I talking about soul or spirit? Is because in that true nature, if we know we are oneness, we are from one family, we are one big infinite family, then we would be kind, we would be loving, we would be enough, we will all be abundant. But that's not the case. So, what was my point? My point is that just remember you didn't come with anyone to cheerlead you, to fulfill your promises and your desires and all your dreams. Most people don't even know your dreams. Most people don't want you to get them because they want to get theirs, and they think that if you win, they won't win. They are that limited. And then there are even those ones who you will clap for, who you will support, but they can't understand it that way. The more you do it, the more they will look for a reason to convince themselves that you must be after something, you know. So, what do you do when life goes like that? You remember who you are. You remember that before you became something in your mom's womb, you were part of the whole. Then, in your mom's womb, even if you were twins, you had your individualness. And then you came out. Even babies never come, they never come at the same time, which means that we all have different entry times and timings, and even the exit times. I'm sure even if people die in January, it's the same thing, but the last breath is also very individual. So, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to encourage you that whatever you feel sad about the world, it's because you've not looked inside. My dear friends, start looking inside. There is so much we need to heal from inside us. If you've not been quiet and you've seen tears just rolling from you, then you could be saying, yeah, I'm healing, I've healed, or what? Because we carry so much that we don't even know. But then, like, why? I want to encourage you. Be all you can be to yourself. No one owes you anything. The people we start burdening didn't create us. For what it's worth, they don't even understand the type of love we have. You would love somebody to the point of death, and then but when they will feel that you've never loved them at all, you've never given them anything, because we believe if you give a lot of material, then that is love. Some people give because they can afford to give. Some people give because they want to give. Some people give because they want to convince themselves that they are good people. So you can never know what goes on in people's minds. And I'm telling you, look around you to know what goes on in people's minds. Even as you are in your home after listening to me, take a minute. If you're not looking at your own mind, it's always better to start with yours, because when you look at your mind, that's when you realize that, life is not easy, Even your own mind. Have you ever been there that all of a sudden your mind tells you, oh, this and this happens, and all of a sudden you're crying, and then before you like that, it tells you another one, and you're like, okay, it's okay, then you dry the tears. Then the same mind brings, it's dramatic, you know. So you just even look at young kids. If you want to know life, look at a young child. You will understand what the mind is. You see how children respond. You are talking about this, they are doing this. It is the same with adults, only that the adults have learned. They've learned to act. So a person will look at you and pretend to be listening, and you're talking. All along, they will be in their heads writing out a script. And in most cases, there are few people who have even met each other. Even if you're a couple, you will only say what you want the other to say. And even the other one will say what, because we are so scared to be ourselves. When you try to be yourself, you become too demanding, you become too picky, you become, I know more, you become all sorts. We are not very accepting of one another. So, my love yourself. My dear, make yourself happy. My darling, give when you want to give, withhold when you want to withhold. At least you make your creator happy. Because if you go and it's to ask, why didn't you help when, and you're like, no, I didn't feel like doing it. Why? Because I didn't feel like doing it. I think that is very good. I was reading the Bible. I've read it in all terms, and now I read it as a wisdom book. When they talk about Laodicea in Revelation, that you not cold, you're not hot, you are not dark, you are not light. You are just there. You don't know. You're mediocre, or you lukewarm. And that's not a good life to live. So whatever you want to be, go ahead and be it. Just remember that there is a consequence for everything we do, and mind your words, because our words are what form our thoughts. You can't have thoughts without a word. So from you looking, you form a word, and then it becomes a thought, and then a thought manifests. So be very careful about what you're manifesting. Otherwise, let's walk this life. Yes, we are going to have bumps, but nothing can ever take away what you keep within your heart, Tracy Chapman sang a song, you can go listen to it, Crossroads. Who's gonna come to get you? Is it your gods or is it your devils? So whatever you do, try to protect what you hold inside. Whatever it is, you have a right to hold on to it. Otherwise, you also have a right to give. The way Jesus gave, like he gave to the point of nakedness, and you leave the world free to go. That would be a wonderful journey. What do you think? Yeah, I'm also still trying. You also. Every day, try. We'll get there. And the more you do it, the lighter you become. The lighter you become. So one time, if you're really bent on doing it and you've chosen to do it, you will be light. And so will I. So will all of us. And some will be darkness as well. But at the end of the day, God is the Alpha, is the Omega. Have a wonderful night.